Welcome to the agenda after a hard-fought win against the Gold Coast up at Etihad Stadium. With me is Jay Clark from the Herald Sun. Jay, finally, it's been a tough month.
Hard fought is probably the right words for it, Chriso, because it was a small step forward. Let's be honest, I didn't see anyone in the coach's box doing backflips over this performance, but they were a committed, engaged playing group, and that is still very important late in the season. One man I want to talk about first off, Chriso, is Daniel Wells. Now, again, we saw his class and his polish. So 20 possessions, 80% kicking efficiency versus someone like Adam Treloar, who goes at 27% kicking efficiency. He kicks 2 goals as well, Wellsy, and we saw just his cleanness. Now, if I was to ask you who's the top 3 most important players at Collingwood, you'd think we said Ben Reid,
yes.
Scotty Pendlebury, obviously, maybe Jamie Elliott. I would say that there's a fair chance that Daniel Wells, heading into this game against West Coast at Etihad Stadium, with Jeremy McGovern, we know he's going to sweep, that Daniel Wells is one of Collingwood's most 3 important players.
He's a star, mate. He is an absolute star.
And if you're Adam Simpson, you've got Mark Hutchings to tag, the man I'd be going to is Daniel Wells. So there's been a lot of debate over his recruitment, yet still late in the season, he's looking like the difference. So a good call from Nathan Buckley, we're calling for some young players, to play Daniel Wells at the weekend, because he might have been the difference. But up forward, I know you're excited about this, Chris.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Well, for the first time this year, we saw Ben Reid and Darcy Moore play in the same forward line. And I reckon it worked. I mean, the conditions were really tough for tall players, but they kicked 5 goals between them. They had 25 disposals. And what they did, and I know Stephen May went off, but what it showed was that with the multiple options, it was difficult for the opposition defence to counter. Now, when you throw in Elliott and Fasolo, and we're going to talk about Josh Thomas a bit later as well, you've really got a real diverse forward line. And I think it worked. And I think in dry conditions, under the roof at Etihad is going to be the ultimate test this week. But I think they work well together, and I think it's the future.
And I guess as opposed to Mason Cox, who was played in that sort of deep forward position, Reid's more mobile. You know, kicked 3 goals in the second half, or some late goals in the second half, which were important. And then Elliott gets the 3rd banana. Fasolo gets the 4th banana. So there is
it's difficult.
A flow
it's a really difficult matchup. And I think what happened on Saturday night when May went off, Reid went deep to expose McKenzie, and it really worked. And McKenzie was all at sea. But I think it's the way forward. 2 quality forwards, tall forwards, and then you've got the 2 quality smaller forwards at ground level.
Tyson Goldsack and Triple M yesterday said he wants Reid to stay forward, so it'll be interesting whether that's the case. Hey, the midfield versus the Eagles will be an important battle because Captain Courageous Scotty Pendlebury is under an injury cloud with some sore fingers. Very courageous, I think, for him to play out that game, basically one-handed. He'll see the docs and they'll work out a plan. Hopefully we see him back very shortly. But what it might do is take him out of that midfield mix. So he's played more than 21 games in 10 out of the last season. Not often we've had a look at the Collingwood midfield without him in it, and they come up against Sam Mitchell and Matt Priddis, of course. Now, Levi Greenwood can come back in, but I reckon maybe he's more dangerous as a forward, Chriso, and I think you've said this before, so maybe the time is right to play Rupert Wills. Now, he's a big body in there, and I think it's a great matchup, perfect matchup, actually, versus Matt Priddis. And then you get Adam Treloar and the other guys sort of functioning around him.
He was named as an emergency, and we know that he's very, very close. He's been playing some outstanding football in the VFL, so it may be... I know they want to get him into the team. It's just a question of when they can do it.
Gaff's the danger man. This is absolutely crucial. He's the one who kicks it, and he's the one who runs. So if Crispy's going to lock down on someone, for me, it's Andrew Gaff. But without Pendles maybe this week, it'll be interesting to have a look at that forward mix. But you've got an unsung hero.
Oh, I reckon. There's been little publicity about this, but Josh Thomas missed 2 years of football. He was out for the entire 2015 and 2016 seasons. Collingwood dropped him off the list. He's able to get back and play the last 3 weeks at senior level and has been outstanding. He's averaged nearly 19 disposals and was absolutely critical. The upside for Josh Thomas, he's only been in those 3 games, he's only been inside the centre square once. And I reckon that's his greatest strength, his inside work. He's been played pretty much as a permanent forward. He kicked 2 goals against the Gold Coast, and he was so clean with his hands, particularly in the final quarter in those heavy conditions. And I just think the story itself is great. To miss 2 years of football, he's still only 25, and to be able to force his way back into this Collingwood team after that long out of the game, I just reckon he's incredible. And he looks great, he looks fit, he hasn't lost any of the strengths that made him the best first-year player back in 2013. And in 2013, He polled 3 Brownlow votes in the game against West Coast.
Okay.
So, yeah, look, I'm really glad to see him back. Now, let's talk some Monday moments.
Well, Brazzy Maynard has been a focus of the agenda show, really. He's had some big highs and a couple of lows, but at the weekend I jumped off my couch when I saw him perform this bit of magic on the boundary line. Now, he's a small defender, we know. On the left foot, Chriso splits the middle. He meant that, didn't he? Of course he did.
Was that a deliberate fumble?
No, he was just taking his time. Or little slip of the ball there, picked it back up, had a look up, and on the left foot. Now, look at the score there.
Oh,
now, with 30 seconds to go before the last change, that was a pivotal goal. So, Brazzy Maynard, you're a defender. But on that occasion, mate, you absolutely excelled in front of the sticks. Now, you've gone left field.
I have a little bit. I've gone back to the great Victoria Park because in the VFL, Collingwood's first pick in last year's draft, a boy named Sam McClarty. He's a big unit. Now, watch him leap to the sky here and take an absolute hanger. Now, that's the future.
Yes.
He's been played mainly at centre-half back. He's about 196, 197 centimetres. And he's the man. So there's just a bit of a look to the future.
Dream
Jay.
of taking marks like that, Chris.
Yeah.
No. You did.
Well, I took a few. Well, a lot, actually.
Anyway.
We're out of time, mate. This is going to be a massive game. Coming off this win against West Coast
Gotta back it up,
at Etihad. Absolutely. Coming up on Sunday.
Only won 2 of the last 10 at Etihad. It's a bogey ground.
Okay. Well, good luck against the West Coast. That's coming up on Sunday. Look forward to seeing you next week on The Agenda.